Well, welcome to episode 1 of Idle Talk, a podcast about pop culture, subculture, and everything in between, using our own subjective views on life to break down our perspectives on said topics, creating what-if scenarios, being the devil's advocate to expand the back and forth, as well as open up other points of discussion. Welcome to our show. I'm Fernando Ramos. This is my co-host,
João Valdez, the Don. Nah, let me fix that. João Manuel Valdez, the Don.
I've never heard anyone call him the Don ever.
I'm in the streets. No, there's something I honestly been thinking about. Like, when I go on my runs, I like think about the type of tattoos I want, and one of them is like, you know, the crowns that they have for like Roman Empire emperors. Like, what are those leaves called? Are those olive leaves? Like some shit.
Olive branches with the thorns.
No, not with the thorns.
Not the Jesus one.
Not the Jesus.
Not the Jesus one.
It's like the most iconic. You know what I'm talking about? It's like leaves.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I was thinking about that on my neck.
On your neck.
On my neck, and then like picking up the nickname Caesar.
You know, you can't just pick a nickname.
I'm about to do that.
You know, those usually get assigned to you.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Why'd you start running?
Why I started running?
You running away from your problems?
What? No, my problems always catch up to me, so I stopped running from them.
Run to them. Run to the problems. Run into them. Yeah,
I think that's a better solution than to run from them. But it is like, it's getting towards that season that I can't ride my bike anymore. Yeah. So there is no like, I can't do any cardio. Yeah. So I started really just picking up running. At first, it was a real like hassle. It was a real bitch about it. It hurt my lower back.
Get your back blown out by running, huh?
Huh?
Got your back blown out by running?
Yeah, most definitely. I have new respect for a lot of people. Yeah. My calf right now is a little bit sore, but it's like, it's really therapeutic. I've always found like some sort of physical activity to be therapeutic. Yeah. So it's just to keep me in shape, fit for whatever needs to be done, and I don't want to like outgrow my clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. But you've been picking up activities as well.
Yeah, I've been drawing and stuff. Yeah. Writing stuff down. Honestly, in my notebook, I was showing Christians the original designs I sent you guys earlier this week, and I took a picture of it. Like, I drew it in my notebook first, and then he was like, if anybody would find that notebook, it looks like you're insane. It looks like you're a madman. So, actually, let me show you. I have my book with me.
Okay.
Tell them something about you that they don't know while I look for this book.
That they don't know. Most recently, I've been slowing down with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I want to go back and pick it up. Oh no, matter of fact, let me redact that. The most recent thing, I've been training a dog, and he's really been picking up a lot of the things that I've been throwing down. Okay. So he knows how to like, I taught him leash control, like a calm call. I don't know what's it called, but like I say heel, and he comes to my legs, and he stays there if he's ever excited, and he has to wait. So that's something I've been doing, just like really showcasing my skills as a dog trainer, I guess. Go ahead, show me that. I actually like this, right? Because it is like multi-layered with all the smiley faces, but it's not just smiley faces. It shows different phases of a person's emotional stages, you know? Yeah. So I think this is very like abstract in what the message is.
Let me see. So to best describe it to audio people, it's just, I literally started, if you can see it, there's just one giant one in the middle.
Right. That's here. Where you started it?
That's where I started. Okay. And I did it because I was recording some video, and I was like a silent film kind of thing that I was playing around with while I was waiting for my car. Like, I was in the park and I was just like playing around with
the video. One that the piece is missing?
Yeah, the piece is missing, but that's a different story. So I drew that on video, and then I ended the video and I was editing it together. And then so I was like, let me just fill the page with smiley faces and sad faces and all the faces that there's there. So there's random like non-smiley or happy faces throughout the original sketch. But I was like, I've got literally like 6 hours until my car is ready, so let me just draw in the park all these faces. And so I got it done, and I was like, this actually looks kind of cool. I would like to like incorporate it into something down the line. And so that's just, most of my like drawings and stuff come from the notebook first, and then I bought this app on my iPad, and then I just was like, let me just see how it looks like on the iPad, and because I can download the pictures as like transparent files, and then just see if I could put it on stuff and see how good it would look. So
I do honestly like it. It was the same thing. I was thinking it's gonna be hard to implement that the way that you want it to. But it is a nice piece.
I am gonna do it. I think we just wait and see what. Because I know your cousin was like, get an embroidery machine. I'm like,
that wouldn't work with embroidery.
That's what I was saying. That too.
Wouldn't work with
I was like, that's more of a press on like design, something like that. But
or a screen press. Yeah, that would be very taxing. What you like price wise?
Okay,
price wise.
So that was just. So now let's talk about why we chose the name Idle Talk. That's the name of our show.
I think that truly does fit into what we're doing.
What the show's gonna be.
Yeah, like we're just talking. We're just having idle conversation as though we're in party chat. Yeah. Or just having any like in a car just talking. It's just idle. There's no we're not making real change. Yeah. We're just
there may not be like no real like direction. We're just gonna see where it goes.
Yeah, it's just chatting in its most basic form, and I think that really does encapsulate what we're doing. And it's short and simple and straight to the point.
Yeah, and maybe these kind of conversations get lost more and more every day, where we don't get to just sit and talk randomly about things. Maybe I feel like that it's a little bit nostalgic because you used to do that more as a kid. Like you had no responsibilities, so you would just talk about everything and anything. It's like at any moment, if you're in school or if you're like at home, like. But now, like as you get older, you got like more things have more, like, I guess topics that you have to cover. So like, maybe you gotta talk the topics about work. You gotta talk about something about work, and then it just stays on that topic. It doesn't like shift back and forth. And I know some people don't like that. They're like, oh, just stay on topic. Like I don't want to really go off on a tangent about things. So I feel like it's a little bit nostalgic to go back to. It feels like you're going back and just being a kid again by just having this kind of conversation and not having to necessarily talk about a specific thing or a specific subject.
You're just having free discourse with somebody. It's I know we had to check if other people were using this. We were going to use a name prior to Idle Talk, but I didn't feel like that fit the brand of it.
Yeah. So speaking about brand, now let's talk about finding and developing the brand identity. So we have a podcast cover in the works, and just what is the most exciting part of it coming together, you think?
The brand or the cover art?
The cover art. The
cover art. It just puts everything into like final stages. Like we're finalizing everything. Yeah. We're putting our feet to the ground and we're running. Yeah. And I think that's what's the most exciting part is like, yo, we've been talking about it. We've been working on it. Now it's on the ground. We're investing on it. Like it is running. And that's the most exciting part about it. Another part is seeing it come to fruition. Yeah. Having it physically there. Like that's really exciting for me.
I think it's cool that it's gonna be the first thing people see. Like it's gonna be like if they look it up, it's like this is what necessarily is gonna make or break people wanting to listen. Just seeing it and hoping, catching their eye, hoping people like, ooh, this is about. Yeah. So I think it's interesting. I hope we have some designs in the works, and we don't necessarily know which one's gonna be the final one just yet. But whichever one you see on this episode is the one we chose. That's the one. But just know that it's taken some time to figure out, and we definitely put a lot of attention to the details in it. And I know that definitely is going to be some compromises here and there on the aesthetics and how it looks, but it's gonna be made basically with a little bit of both of our interests and personalities, and that's what makes it important and special to us. So I know we have a song made for the show, and I would like to play it right now, just so the audience gets to hear it and see, and we'll just play it.
So you just heard it, and this took a process. It was one of my friends, Ben. He's a composer. He plays guitar. We've known each other since elementary school. You know what we used to do on the bus in the back of the elementary school? He used to make beats, and I used to rap to them on the way to school. So that's how we like bonded.
Yeah.
He went away to college, and we like reconnected. I was working at Apple, and he was at Ridge Hill. I was like, "Yo," and we reconnected.
It's Beats Ben. Hey.
Yeah. I'm gonna link him with his IG, so he
in the
can,
podcast notes.
Yes, exactly. But the process, we wanted something upbeat, but with the feeling of opening discussion and furthering the process of thought, like of ideas. So that's why I really like that that sonic sound in the beginning.
Yeah.
And as it goes into repeat, it's just like, okay, we're moving somewhere. That's the type of vibe I wanted. And then when the beat drops, I wanted something bumpy, so we can understand the vibe that we're going through, like this what's it called, this modern what's it called, this area, not is it rural,
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The streets, like, it's just hip-hop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Urban. Rural sounds like country,
right? I don't know.
Rural is like country. It's like agriculture.
But yeah, like this hip hop, like that hip hop, like grounded, gritty, and then with this melodic tone that just soothes everything. So that's the sort of vibe that I wanted, and we went through multiple processes, and we were talking about it, and it gives me this open to discussion, cool but mellow sense of what's gonna happen.
I like the piano. Explain that. Like, how'd you guys come up with the piano? Like, because version 1 sounds completely different than this version, and so like I instantly could hear the difference with the piano once it came in. So was that your idea? Is that something he did? Like, what?
That was my idea, because after the first one, the first one was very staticky, very high pitched, and I let him know that I wanted it to be a little bit more bumpy.
It was like sharp. It was like it kind of hurt to listen to it. Yeah,
and
not that it was bad, but like it
just didn't fit what we wanted.
It was just like stabbing you in the ear, like how sharp it was.
So because I wanted it to be more bumpy, I needed something to level it out.
Yeah.
So I just wanted some melodic vibes, and that's where he introduced that. So I told him, and that was just a great fit of how it transitioned.
Okay, so now let's just talk about why we chose to do a podcast. It feels like everybody has a podcast these days.
Yeah.
So
everybody does. This is a free market. This is an open platform that everybody can get involved in, and I think that opens up a lot of competition.
Yeah.
That's one of the aspects why I like about it.
Do you think podcasts are oversaturated now? because I'm kind of comparing it to I feel like podcasts have been around for a while.
Yeah.
But not necessarily, it hasn't been like oversaturated yet. It kind of gives me that early Twitch feeling where it's like if you got on Twitch super early, you didn't necessarily have to be super good at a game or super good at what you were doing because there was really nobody else around. And it kind of gives me that vibe right now, even though there's tons of like popular podcasts making millions of dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting from podcasting right now. I feel like not necessarily there's not that much oversaturation yet. I feel like it's a sweet spot to get into it right now because you've seen how people have been successful with podcasting. You've seen how people failed with it. And so I feel like now is the time to kind of jump into it without necessarily being like an early adopter or being too late to the trend.
Yeah.
So I remember our original concept for this podcast. It was going to be us and our boys, like 6 people.
6 people deep.
And it would alternate. Obviously, we at most people would want like 4 people at a time on the show. And so I think that dynamic would have been good, especially because of different perspectives and ideas and different characteristics that each of them bring in.
Would have been bouncing real nice.
Yeah, and so now, compared to the concept now, it's just me and you. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad that it got here. I'm disappointed that not everybody was able to, make the mark.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate, but that was a cause of like COVID and financial situation. So I don't know what could have been done to help, but we're here. We're here. We're
vibing.
Yeah.
We're living life. Yeah, I think it would be super interesting to kind of still do that in a way. But once we get into the point where we could obviously have more people on, I think that would be so fun to do.
Yeah.
More than one person, obviously. But for now, I think we're heading in a pretty good direction right now. And I'm interested to see where it goes and where we go, essentially, because I know that with the proper time and commitment and work, that easily it could be we could easily grow into something bigger than what it is right now currently.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for like a studio of some kind, having a specific place to where we could separate work-life balance too.
Because the back room is opening, by the way. The back room, not my room, the back room.
Yeah.
It's opening.
Okay, cool.
Like sooner, not later, my sister is gonna be moving from that office to back to work.
Yeah.
So that is gonna be open, and so I'm thinking about fixing things up to make it more
podcasty.
Yeah. That'll be a great.
That'll be cool. That'll be super cool. So what do you generally think about podcasts? Like other podcasts.
Other podcasts or podcasts in general?
Just both. What about podcasts in general?
So like podcasts in general, when I started hearing about like Joe Rogan and like you introduced Logan and these other philosophical and psychological podcasts that I listen to, I had a deep feeling in my heart that, radio is dying. Like surely like, is dying.
You blame Funk Flex for like the 80,000 explosions he
That's
plays.
too much, right? It was just too much. But even then, like when you're in a car, it's so rare to be listening to a radio rather than your own playlist.
Yeah.
Like whenever I get in a car and I'm just chilling with somebody, is like, yo, pass me the aux. It's like nobody's really listening to radio, so I felt its death. And I felt the growth of podcasts because what made radio so impactful wasn't the music that was there, it was the radio host.
Yeah,
the personality. Yeah. Ooh, the personality that gave it life. And we weren't feeling that anymore. It was just ads and fillers and ad libs. It was just like, why are we here? Like I want to listen to music or I want to listen to the person, but you got neither. The only ones that really lived up to it was like Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Hot 97 with like Ebro.
Ebro in the morning. I love Ebro, man. He's controversial on Twitter though. People hate him on Twitter.
Yeah, but I think anybody who is.
But that whole crew in the morning easily carries Hot 97 to like where they're at now, and like where they were, like they were like super big, and they're still super big. And I still think it's solely because of Ebro and their crew in the morning. They carry that like name recognition still to this day. Like I know like a lot of like if you just they're on from like 5 to like 9 or something like that, and it's like it's a great time to listen to, especially if you have early morning drive.
Yeah,
it's like, and they upload their radio shows to Apple Podcasts too, so like, you can just listen to just that whole recording like as a podcast technically. And I feel like I used to do that like when I would go to work, and it was just like it's interesting to listen to the things in the morning, especially if you miss out too. If you like, let's say you got an off day and you wake up late and you're like, oh, let me listen to what they said today.
Yeah,
and they got their own segments that are cool, like Ask the Guru or like other like submitted stories that they read, and it's just cool to listen to, I feel like. But then when you get like after that, I think you got Nessa like 2 p.m. That's the only other good one.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, but like everybody after that, it's just like you got Funk Flex at night, and then you have a long day at work. You driving over the bridge, and it's like
it's
like
that's like I want to listen to Pop Smoke, not to you blowing up shit.
Yeah, so I think podcasts in general are just super cool. I remember just like being the only like person at my school at the time, just like, yeah, I'm listening to a podcast. Like, what's a podcast? Like when I got to college, I'm like, yeah, it's this da 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 da, and it's like it's just people talking. Like it's not necessarily like music, but it's like longer than a song, but shorter than a radio show entirely. So it's like it's in the middle, like an hour to like 2 hours maybe. 2 hours being super long for a podcast, but then you have Joe Rogan dropping like 9-hour podcast episodes every day. Like his episodes are long.
9 hours.
I'm exaggerating, obviously, but they're longer than
like they go like
3 hours,
depending on who's the guest. Like
it's ridiculous.
Kanye West thing was so long, unnecessarily.
Really,
long.
I thought it was too short. I feel like he had more to say.
He definitely had more to say, but what he was saying was so convoluted. I was like, yo, cut it out.
What I didn't like when I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast was some guy talking about hunting deers for like 4 hours. It's just deer meat and like hunting in general. Like,
he has to hit his base.
So boring.
That's where he got his money from. The hunters.
I was like, Jesus, this is enjoyable for somebody out there.
Yeah.
4 hour long like deer hunting conversation, but like. I think he's the exception that he could get away with like super long podcast episodes.
He built it.
That's his branding for sure. And just in general, I just listen to like a lot of like different industry podcasts. So like I listen to like this podcast called Watch Time. It's like a gaming esport podcast. It's from a couple of Australians, and they're super insightful because they talk about the things that like are boring. So when you hear about gaming,
like give an example, they
were talking about like brandios and like what goes behind.
Oh, okay.
They were comparing that brands think a Twitch live stream is more valuable than a YouTube video, branding wise, like to like for an ad.
Yeah. And
they were like, yeah, you would think since it's live, it's better, but on YouTube, it's a static like undynamic form of like advertisement.
Yeah.
So if you get 20 million views on it, you're getting 20 million views. But if you buy ad space on a live stream, at some point you'll either peak and then go down, or you'll be building up. So your viewers won't, like, let's say only 2,000 people see the ad part of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody comes after that, they didn't miss the ad part, and they're just contributing to the overall number of viewers to the stream. So if you have maybe 100,000 concurrent viewers, not all 100,000 of them are going to see the ad, because people click off, people come back, go back and forth.
Wouldn't people already know that from our history with live TV? Like, wouldn't you do your research and be like, you know what, I want something that's going to progressively always hit my target, rather than
because they were like on YouTube, like you'll just post all the good games you had and like, this is an ad sponsored by Apex Legends, and it'll be like, you post all your good games, you're like, wow, good season, da 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 da, right? You post all the good parts. But if you're streaming it and you're having a couple bad games, and it's visible that to the people that you're watching that you're not having fun because you're losing, and you're getting paid but you're losing, it's like, oh, like, you can't, like, there's different value there, and people are in that mindset that the Twitch live stream part is still more valuable than something like a regular YouTube sponsored video. So I think that was interesting to learn. We're just like that people still think that YouTube doesn't really have that value as it did before. But
YouTube is getting more valuable, to be honest.
So I think that was cool to like learn and just be like, I would definitely, if I want to advertise something, I definitely would want it with the best foot forward on YouTube, show all the good stuff and cut out all of your raging or whatever it is that you're all that hypothetically bad stuff on it. So I think that's,
if it's outside of your brand,
because
you wouldn't cut out raging from Dr. Disrespect, you know. When it comes to podcasts and like oversaturation, I don't like I feel the same way as you do. It's like we're right here in this middle ground before it becomes everybody did it, or there's nobody there. Like, we're right there to be a pioneer in what we have to say and in our branding, so we can pick up people and take them to wherever we want.
I think it's funny that there's a meme where it's like, you don't know where to go? Start a podcast. I think that's fun. That's funny. To be honest, that's
hilarious. That's just like, it reminds me of like, before it was like, you don't know what to do, drop a SoundCloud. Like, just it's just like
be a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Now people are like killing it off SoundCloud.
They're killing it?
Yeah.
I thought SoundCloud died.
I
haven't heard about SoundCloud in so long.
People still use SoundCloud.
Oh, okay.
Just Chance the Rapper tried to save it. He gave money to it.
Oh, like, I thought you meant he dropped something on it.
Oh, no. Like, he actually was like, stay open, please.
Because
he started on SoundCloud. A lot of people start on SoundCloud, and it's like, it's kind of like nostalgic. And they're like, I want to help give somebody else their start. Yeah. That possibly could just, blow up and shit like that.
But I mean, like, why can't you just start on Spotify now?
You could, but like, people still use SoundCloud, believe it or not. Like,
oh, that's crazy.
It's just I
stopped using it a lot.
Because other countries don't have Spotify.
What?
Yeah.
Spotify is not international?
They are, but just like other places just don't have Spotify. They just have their own, like...
Is Spotify owned by Facebook?
No.
I bet you Facebook's going to buy it eventually.
That'll be crazy. They buy everything.
They do.
We need to stop that. Someone needs to be like, Facebook, leave companies alone.
That's monopolizing. No, it's not.
No. No.
I thought about it. No. But I feel like, it's too much for one company to have a hand in everything. That's too much.
Because they own WhatsApp, they own Instagram. Technically, it's not monopolizing.
Technically not.
But
you do own a corner of a fucking...
Instagram wanted to buy Snapchat, and then Snapchat was like, nah. And then Instagram was like, fuck it, we'll just do our own stories then. Mm-hmm. They wanted to rebrand Snapchat into Instagram.
When that happened, I did see less snaps, though.
Yeah.
I did see Snapchat, like...
Nah, Snapchat is, like, kind of dead.
It's only for nudes now.
For who?
Nudes?
Oh.
It's only for nudes now. Before, it used to be like, hey, keep up your friend, send a photo. I hated that so much.
So Snap is dead. Yeah. Only for premium Snapchats. I logged into my Snapchat the other day, actually.
Oh, you logged into it? Wait,
yeah.
It hasn't been 30 days.
No, because I have to do something for school on Snapchat.
Sure.
I literally have to do
okay.
it. I'll show you the discussion board if you want me to. Sure. But I have to follow the bulls on Snapchat and just monitor their Snapchat activities. And then I got a message from somebody, and I opened it, and it was like, buy my OnlyFans. I was like, I don't even know you. I don't even know who you are. I'm not going to buy it. And it was like, only $9. I was like, wait a minute.
You thought about it?
No, I blocked the person.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, you're not getting $9 from me.
I get excited when someone's like, you want my Snapchat? I'm like, word. Because, like, that's the only thing I use it for. And when it's just, like, for regular discussion, I'm just, like, boring.
just text me.
Yeah, you already got my number. Why are you texting me on Snapchat? It's weird.
That's funny. So now let's shift focus from OnlyFans and nudes and premium Snapchats to what are you looking forward to the most?
What am I looking forward to in the most? What?
What are you looking forward to the most? Like for this podcast?
The most is honestly, not the most, but I'm looking forward to all of it. You know, I started to really fall in love with the process of things.
Yeah.
If we want to go back to like why I'm running, like the process of running, not the end goal. Yeah, I'm losing weight, but like the process of it is really fulfilling. And I'm looking forward to the process of this growing and talking to new people, interacting with them, and having great moments. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to having guests, a new studio, revving up our editing, our recording, our whole process. I'm just looking forward to the whole goddamn thing, to be honest.
The whole shebang. Wow. I'm definitely super interested to get different people on here.
Super. And just I think we have a large like category of people that we can actually talk to if we communicate with them, because a lot of people are making their own brands that we know of, like from our own experiences that from
our own network. Basically, it's just like get different people on. It doesn't have to be freaking anybody super duper famous or important. Just to get people on, and see what they gotta say. It's always interesting.
We should honestly we can honestly do that.
Yeah, we definitely have the platform to do so might as well, right?
Yeah.
But until then, we'll start making our way towards that for sure. I want that. I would like that to happen super soon, just to get different people in for sure. But obviously, we need all the proper space and equipment for that. But other than that, I think the future is bright. Don't you say?
I definitely do. I'm very optimistic. Very, very optimistic with our work ethic, and my will to just keep going.
Yeah.
It's not that money is not a problem, but like I will always find a way for something I want to do.
Yeah, for sure, exactly.
If
you really want it, you'll find a way to do so.
Yeah, and I've seen your work ethic, and it's just like it's always on point. Sometimes you be fucking annoying with like the energy that you have, but it's just like that's the energy that I want. Cause like when I'm slacking, you pick it up.
Yeah,
and I'm just like. And whatever you're slacking in, whatever it be, you know that I'm always like, I'm down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's good balance.
Yeah.
Some may say annoying. I just say, like, responsible.
For an unresponsible person, it's fucking annoying.
Irresponsible.
Yeah, however you want to say it.
Unresponsible. I'm not responsible. Unresponsible.
It's unacceptable.
Other than that, I think that's a great place to end the show. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Hopefully you stick around and follow us on this crazy ride.
Yeah. So that was me, Joan Manuel Valdez, the Don.
No one calls you the Don. All right, peace out, guys.